Yes, and welcome back. This is the Sports Check, just in case you're joining us. I'm Bernardo Kumu. And of course, after that interview on Kenya-China relations through sports, let's now dig deeper about matters volleyball. And of course, we're looking at how the national team fared this particular year, this 2025, and what really represents ahead of the 2025 season. We know that we're going to host the Zone 5 club championships, that's men and women's, later on in the year. But first things first, let's talk about China and Kenya relations. Mr. Charles Nyaberi, the chairman of KVF, Kenya Volleyball Federation, is with me on set to talk about matters KVF. And Nyaberi, I remember when Mr. Yuta and Ratemo were just exiting after the interview, we talked about how the collaboration between KVF and China has been so instrumental in helping the team reach the global perform at the top level.
Yeah, first of all, the main connection between China and Kenya, especially for volleyball and other indoor games, is that they were the ones who constructed the Kasarani indoor gym,
yes,
and the annex, and that of course was a very big landmark. But also, we must accept the fact that China is a world force in volleyball. Both men and women, and as much as we have had a lot more contact with Japan, there's also been contact between them, and we are hoping at one stage to have a formalized arrangement, bilateral arrangement, where we can have a technical exchange. And the officials who have just left the studio have promised to get us into that. But like now, some of those bilateral relations actually have boosted our game.
Yes.
Like with Japan.
Yes.
Japan started with Hiroshi Yama, who virtually revolutionized Kenyan volleyball in the 70s and 80s. And after that, we used to have one national coach from Japan as part of a bilateral arrangement, and 6 provincial assistant coaches who are volunteers in the provinces.
Yes, well, maybe many are asking what happened to that particular collaboration that was.
We did very well. We got Mr. Onishi, who is actually the one who produced the powerful telecom team that had 9 members in the national team, and most of the current coaches who transited from playing to coaching were actually discovered and put in place by Onishi. Then we had Mr. Sugawara for about 12 years. But I think somewhere along the line, and I'd say, I think we as a country and as a federation dropped the ball. There was a bit of back and push, especially after the Sydney Olympics. There was a bit of disagreement. And that agreement lapsed, and we didn't renew it. But that is something that we need to revisit.
In future, it could be looked at.
Yeah, we are looking at that, especially Japan.
Yes,
because most of our outstanding volleyballers in the past have been handled and brought up by Japanese coaches, and we have had a lot of exchange whereby our own coaches went to Japan, to learn. It's something that we have, as a federation, we intend to revive.
Yes, indeed. And let's talk about now the Kenya's performance this particular season. Malkia Strikers won the second time in the history, though, that they won a match, right, at the Worlds.
But this time, this time it was even more significant because we beat the Asian champions, the Asian representatives, Vietnam.
Yes.
And then went further. The team went further, and when they played the third-ranked Poland, Poland is ranked 3rd in the world. When they played them, Kenya actually took a set from them, and the set was taken in a very impressive fashion, 25-15. And you see also, again, we are very happy that the team that performed that well was a blend of experience and youth. It had a lot of young players. The youngest player there was 18, 18-year-old Tata, who also
starred at the under-20.
Yeah, she's in the under-20 team. She was actually the most valuable player at the African under-20 championships. So the future is bright. We can see that the trajectory is upward bound, and we intend to expose that team as much as possible, because right now the focus is on not only qualifying for the Los Angeles
2028 games,
2028, the Olympics. We also are looking at doing well in those Olympics. We don't just want to participate.
And maybe what has changed the qualification pathway? Before then, it just used to be automatic. Whoever wins the African crown gets the automatic slot to the Olympics.
Yeah, the FIVB came up with a method. Besides that Olympic qualifier, the teams also have to have piled up a good aggregate of points
along the way
in the international championships, in the continental championships. For every continental and global championships appearance, you get points. So those cumulative points, they want to make sure that people don't just single out the qualifier and expect that once they've done well, that is all. So it is like it's like continuous assessment, more or less. So it's a new format, and I think it's very good for the sport.
The transition in Malkia strikers, we saw new faces, good number of new faces coming in, especially for the team that was at the Worlds.
Yeah, we have a continuous transition. We had like 3 players who are under 21, which is very, very good. And we are still looking out. There are more players who have come out of school now, and they are getting into clubs. Our technical team has been commissioned to look out for any of the new players who are very, very promising. So it is very competitive. Even the ones who are already on board, they know that the competition is cutthroat. And we will continue doing that and make sure that we populate the team with the majority of young players for the sake of the future.
And quite commendable for the structures that maybe KVF is putting in place in terms of having sure that there is enough supply of talents going up. But schools have always offered a perfect platform for nurturing of the talents or sporting of such talents. But the performance of under 20 men and women on the continental level, the women were crowned champions, the men also went all the way to the podium. That must have been encouraging. Maybe what were the efforts that are at the back of all those successes that we did see?
Yeah, first of all, I must say that the volleyball competition at schools level has really shot up, and what is happening is that big clubs have adopted schools as centers, as youth centers, as nurseries, kind of, and that has really helped, because like now big clubs like KCB, Kenya Pipeline, they've adopted schools like Kwadanze, you know, and Cheptil, and all this is, you know, is helping us. And as a federation, the National Executive Committee made a resolution immediately they were elected 2 years ago to put emphasis on the youth. That is why we've not been on the under 20, under the age group places for a long time. So we went back with a bang, and we entered the first competition that was in Tunisia. The other one was in Morocco. We entered both men and women. Then we entered the qualifiers for the men in under 20 in Cairo, and we were happy. They narrowly lost to the winners Egypt and runners up Cameroon, and they were number 3. And so they are actually on the path to qualifying for the World Championships. And then the girls were very, very impressive in Cameroon. We had a very short stint of preparation, but they came out on top. They won, you know, resoundingly against the hosts, Cameroon,
in the final,
and also against Egypt.
Maybe the works that maybe handing the team to former international Barasa was a masterstroke.
what actually contributed more was the fact that the team selection, I must say, it was really on merit. And it meant we were actually represented by the very best. And the interesting thing is that the team that went to Cameroon was minus a lot of other probables who could not travel because it clashed with the East African Games. So schools like Kwadanze could not be represented. And we're looking at a situation in future where we'll now also incorporate some of those ones who are left out as on merit, purely on merit. And we'll have a much stronger team. And we'll also have a more elaborate and longer lasting preparation.
And maybe just as we come to a close, there are a number of events happening, local grassroots championships, right? Like Karori Kipchumba tournament. Talk to us about that, and when is it happening, and why are such tournaments important?
Yeah, we are having the second edition of the Kipchumba Karori Cup in Eldoret at the Polytechnic, Wareng and Hill School between 19th and 21st. This is our biggest event. Last year we had a massive turnout of 186 teams from Kenya and Uganda. We had 6 Ugandan teams. This time we're expecting 5 Ugandan teams, 1 from South Sudan and 2 from Tanzania. And we have invited the same teams that were there last year. The good thing is that North Rift, Uasin Gishu in particular, and Nandi, that's a hotbed of volleyball, and Elgeyo Marakwet. And what happens is that the local teams, the community-based teams, we have a huge turnout, and they play top-flight volleyball. So we have that, and we're very thankful to Honorable Kipchumba Karori for coming up. And this time we have 2 things that 2 decisions that we made at the launch on Saturday. Honorable Kipchumba Karori, our lead sponsor and patron of the championships, put out a pass that we have not matched before. The winners will get, for both categories, each of the winners will get 1 million shillings. Then there will be 500 for the number 2, 300 for the number 3, and number 4, and so on. And also there will be cash awards for the best players, for the individual players. So that is one thing. Then we have the Women's League coming up from between 11th and 14th in Nairobi, at Nyayo and at Kasarani. Then we have also been blessed with the hosting. We've been given the hosting rights for the Zone 5. Zone 5 championships brings together 12 countries from Egypt all the way down to Burundi. And this one will take place end of February, beginning of March. And the advantage of hosting is that we'll be able to put in a lot of local, more teams, more teams, more Kenyan teams, more Kenyan clubs will participate.
And also the African nations.
Then we have made a very strong bid when the president of Africa, Bushra Hajij, was here about a month ago. We put in a very strong bid for Africa Cup of Nations because our national teams have been participating out there, and we'd want to showcase them in front of the home crowd.
To be the first time since when?
Sponsors.
Quite some time, right? The tournament has not been here for some time. The African nations.
Not been. We've not hosted for a long time, and the main impediment has been facilities, because we have Kasarani as top flight, but for those international competitions you need a second gym of equal quality or matching quality. You need a second competition gym, and we have managed to convince the African body to allow us to use the Department of Defense sports complex. And we're also negotiating with African Nazarene, and
possible collaboration.
We've also approached Brookhouse. We have used the Brookhouse gym before. But that is it. And then we're also preparing the teams. We had also made a bid to host, it might sound overambitious, the Africa Club Championships, at least one of the categories.
Yes.
But at least we got feedback yesterday that more or less it's confirmed that we'll get the Africa Cup of Nations.
Yes.
We're just merely waiting for for the write-up. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Nyaberi. That's where we leave it at it, but we'll have more conversations coming up, right, as we head towards the February Zone 5 Championship, and more to speak about as the season will be knocking on our doors later in the early in the year.
Yeah, I just also want to say that just to round off on rounding off. We've also put a lot of emphasis on our beach volleyball. We have now, for the first time, we've been having just one qualified international beach volleyball referee, but now we got 3 trained. Then we got 25 international beach volleyball coaches trained here at home last year. And then the biggest breakthrough has been our Beach Volleyball Commission has worked very hard, and we petitioned as a federation, and now we've been allowed. Kenya Secondary School Sports Association will now officially have beach volleyball as one of the competitions
in the school in school games.
Yeah. Yes. So we're also hoping that something can be done. We can see Talanta complex is coming up. We're hoping that for the new facilities, something can be done to put up indoor facilities, and that will cater for both volleyball and basketball. It will also cater even for handball and even other games. Yeah, but otherwise we are very thankful to our hosts. I mean, to our sponsors. We are very thankful to Mozartbet, who have been sponsoring our national team. They have been our sponsors now for the last 3 years. They have extended that sponsorship and even expanded the scope to include the Wafalme, the men, and also increased the sponsorship from 10 million to 15 million. We're also very thankful to Kipchumba Karori, who is our biggest sponsor, and then all the other corporate sponsors who are coming in to sponsor this tournament. Without them, we could not. And above all, we're also very thankful to our players, because we believe we have this adage that we have the player at the center of everything, in thought, word, and deed. Plus also our hardworking referees, our coaches, our team managers, and our team sponsors.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nyaberi, on being so eloquent about matters of volleyball. Up next, we'll be speaking with the national rollerball men's and women's teams. Of course, we have a number of guests in the studio already. We're talking about their plans and how they plan to conquer or retain their world titles coming up later on. It should be next week in Dubai. So stay with us on the Sports Check. We'll be back with the rollerball interview.